Hello everyone. I am so excited to bring you this video. This is a video to give exposure to and do a full swatch and application and review for the brand Kaleidos makeup. They are one of the brands that I featured in this month's, or by this time probably last month's, What's New in Beauty video for June 2019. I'll link that in the upper right hand corner for you to check out if you haven't already. But from the first look, it was like love at first sight makeup version, and it just got better from there. Spoiler alert. So if you are interested in this brand, if you want to see all three palettes that I have swatched, and if you want to see me create this makeup look, because this eye look was created exclusively using one of the palettes, then this is the video for you. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel by hitting that red subscribe button. Follow Allura Beauty on Instagram. The username is in the description box. And of course, check out the latest video if you haven't already. Let's jump into the mesmerizing world of Kaleidos makeup. So this is the PR box that I received, and I will put all of the company's information in the description box below, the website where you can purchase their products. And I don't think I have any discount codes, but if I obtain one in the future or anything like that, I will also make sure to include that. And of course, there's a link to eBay so that if you do online shopping, you can get some cash back. I don't think Kaleidos is part of the cashback list, but for any other future shopping that you're doing. Part of the reason why this was kind of love at first sight is you open up this box and there are so many things. The most obvious thing is the artwork and the design of the palettes that are in here. Even the box where it says Futurism inside. This is the Futurism Collection from the brand. It consists of these three eyeshadow palettes. This collection is described as followed. The Futurism Collection is our vision for a colorful path into a nebulous future. 3 mini palettes showcasing brave new shimmers, celestial metallics, and high-tech mattes. Cinematic, thrilling, and highly advanced, the future is in your hands. So first thing I immediately noticed is the beauty and the sophistication of the packaging, of the artistry and the design. So just the superficial look of the makeup products. The next thing I noticed when I went to the website is how professional the whole website is and how descriptive it is. The people who designed this website and the people behind this company really have spent a long time to really put care and a lot of creativity into how the makeup looks, but also into the information that is on the website, the words that are used to describe things. So I really appreciate that. Another thing that is important for me to talk to you about before we jump into the actual palettes and the Futurism Collection is the people behind the brand. When I looked at the About Us page, I was so, I don't know what the proper word is. I was happy and in a way kind of proud to see where this brand came from. The Who We Are page says that a beauty blogger, Zoe Poo, saw that the mainstream beauty brands were at odds with her vision for great makeup. The disingenuous nature of the industry leaders and their inability to make products for the new generation of makeup users was exasperating. Convinced that there was a better way to follow her passion for beauty, she founded Kaleidos Cosmetics with her boyfriend, Tony Chen, and his high school friend, Mark Henry. So you have, it looks like, 2 Asian creators of this brand, and being part Asian, I really appreciate that. Another part of the page says, we are committed to authenticity in everything we do, and we promise to always be completely transparent with our customers. We invest all of our resources to develop our products with the highest standards possible, no matter the cost. Our goal is to bring you the absolute best value on the market. An American and Chinese team, we are one of the first makeup companies to be entirely cross-border in vision and identity. This is what makes Kaleidos unique and has influenced its founders to look far beyond their own homes for inspiration. And fittingly, namely the brand being called Kaleidos, which comes from the word kaleidoscope. They say, to us, the colorful moving mosaic formed by a kaleidoscope is the perfect analogy for the constant evolution of beauty. Without diversity and progression, there would be no beauty, and without the courage to be an individual, there would be no diversity and no progression. Their mottos are eccentricity, authenticity, and individuality. So there's a little sneak peek into behind the brand. If you go to the website, you will see that they have free international shipping for any order over $59. The Futurism Collection is the bulk of what is offered from the brand at this point. There is also one additional eyeshadow palette that they have available, but I am very much looking forward to this brand expanding the range of their products and bringing out more things in the future. So let's jump into looking at these palettes and swatching them. Now, you can buy the entire Futurism set for just $59. And I want you to keep that in the back of your mind, because when you look at how incredible these shadows are and these palettes are, that price point is so beyond fair, so beyond a steal. It is on sale for $59. I guess the full price is $72, but if you purchase it at this time, it is only $59. Now, if you want to buy the eyeshadow palettes individually, even then, they are only $24 each. I, again, am really surprised by the price point for these. If I had not seen the price on the website and I were to make a blind guess of how much each of these were, they would probably be in the mid $30 to $40 range. So here are what the boxes themselves look like. Even before you get into the product, you can see these are stunning, beautiful, creative, and unique. And then you get into the palettes themselves, even more beautiful, because not only do you have that kind of marbled coloring, but you also have the streaks of metallic that they've put onto the surface of the palette that are reflective. So let's start with Futurism 1 Sci-Fi Green. All of the palettes open the same way. They have a magnetic closure, and it kind of closes the way a pamphlet would. The palette itself is about an inch thick. It's very lightweight and is very sturdy. And like I was mentioning, you can see these reflective strips that they've put in through the palette, and the name of the palette is also in that reflective lettering. So like I was saying, each palette opens kind of like a pamphlet, has a magnetic closure there, so they flip open like this. You do get a lengthwise mirror on one of the flaps. You get the Kaleidos name on the inside of the other flap, and you get a protective plastic covering that shows you the name of each shade. So here are the shades in the green palette up close. And as always, when I swatch these, I'll do these left to right with an eyeshadow brush over primer. And I also just want you to be able to see how amazing the artistry is on the inside of the palette as well. Here is the Futurism 2 Cyber Bronze palette. Here's a look up close. The design. Again, opens up like this. And you have the plastic cover on here also with the names. Here are the eyeshadow pans up close. And another look at the artistry inside. So I actually realized that I switched the plastic coverings for these two palettes on accident, so when I'm going through the shades and actually swatching them, I don't want you to get confused in terms of the names that I'm going to list. I guess that's one disadvantage of not having the names actually on the palettes themselves, is that if you misplace these, or you can get them mixed up with each other. Usually I prefer to have the names imprinted on the palette itself, but in this case, I would say that I actually like the fact that they have not done that, just because the artistry is so beautiful, and I think that having the names imprinted may distract a little bit from that. If you do find that you've misplaced your plastic sheet, if you still have the box, then they do in the ingredients give you a look at what the shades are. And then also, of course, you can go on the website to figure that out too if you care about the names of the shades. So here is the Futurism 3 Astro Pink palette. These are the names and the sheet for this palette. And here's a look up close at the pans. artwork. The description for the Sci-Fi green palette says, alarmingly beautiful and stranger than fiction, highly graphic shades straight from 2049, includes 2 marvelous metallics and 4 brave new mattes. The first shade in the Sci-Fi green palette is Radioactive. And this is a grungy amber orange matte with a soft, iconic glow. Such an interesting descriptor for a matte shade. Shade number 2 is Nuclear. This is a smoky gold metallic bursting with superheated orange. To me, this looks much more like a yellow base gold as opposed to an orange. Although, I guess it's a little bit more of like a warm toned gold as opposed to, not warm toned, but it's not like a sunshine yellow, if you know what I'm saying. Shade number 3 is Glam Aura. Described as a heroically vibrant metallic that shifts from an otherworldly green to platinum gold. So it sounds like they're saying it's a duochromed shade here. Shade 4 is Smog. Described as a smokestack green matte with a hint of toffee brown. These are such curious descriptions, very detailed, but I don't know that I would exactly agree. I just think this is kind of like a mossy, swampy green. Although I guess maybe they're referring to it being kind of like gray toned as opposed to a pure bright green. Shade number 5 is E.T. Described as a deep olive green matte with an alien mystique. And the 6th shade is Dark Side. This is a pitch black matte steeped in a sinister force. This is definitely an intensely deep black. All right, so those are your 6 shades from the Sci-Fi green palette. Man, this carbon deep black is wonderful. I think it's probably the deepest black, matte black that I've seen or that I can remember swatching. The rest of the mattes go on very smoothly. They have great opacity and pigmentation to them. The metallics, actually, you saw me, I think, with this golden shade, kind of blend and apply a few layers, but once you do that, it is absolutely smooth and, again, opaque. This shade, if you remember, it described it basically as a duochrome. Hopefully you can see a little bit of that shift in the camera there. I think, technically speaking, maybe there's a duochrome there, although I think it's very, very subtle if there is one. For the Cyber Bronze palette, the description says, highly charged and sophisticated, cutting-edge hues imbued with quantum capabilities. Includes 2 state-of-the-art shimmers, 1 metallic shade, and 3 high-tech mattes. First shade in the Cyber Bronze palette is Quantum, described as a highly advanced rosy shimmer wired with a dash of copper. This is like a metallic burgundy. It's probably the best way I would describe it. Shade number 2 is Infrared, described as a heat-seeking deep maroon shimmer. Shade 3 is Plasma. These have like a different texture to them. They're almost like a liquidy, these two here, liquidy metallic. Described as a quicksilver metallic with a white hot shine. Absolutely amazing how this looks on the skin. Shade 4 is Droid. And this is a sandy caramel matte, infused with Martian soil. That is a really good description of this shade. Shade number 5 is Y2K. This is a smooth Java brown matte from the depths of cyberspace. And 6th is Carbon, which is a rich elemental charcoal brown matte. There are the 6 shades from the Cyber Bronze palette. This silver is incredible. It is like mercury applied to the skin. It has that liquid feel, quality, and consistency. Most of these shades applied very, very nicely. I think this one required a little bit more layering, but again, at the end of the day, all of these are very, very good. For the Astro Pink palette, the description is Galactic Glow. Interstellar marvels saturated with celestial pigmentation. Includes 4 heavenly mattes, including 1 diamond glitter matte. That's interesting. I wonder what they mean by that. 1 radiant metallic and 1 stunning duochrome. First in the Astro Pink palette is Cosmos. Described as a deep space, holy moly. Jeez. This is described as a deep space black matte drizzled with twinkling silver glitter. What an incredible pairing of this, larger silver glitter into this midnight deep opaque black there. Shade number 2 is Neptune. This is a rich aqua blue duochrome swirling with an ultraviolet glow. This one has a chunkier formula. Still looks incredibly beautiful, swatched with a dry brush. But I'm going to go back on all the palettes and probably swatch the shimmering shades with my finger just to see what kind of different effect we might get. Third is Nebula. This is a berry fuchsia matte from a galaxy far, far away. Fourth is Lightyear, described as a cosmic beam of brilliant metallic lavender. Oh my gosh, you guys. I don't have the words to describe how beautiful and metallic this shade is. Fifth is Stardust, a dusty rose matte with a cool stellar glow. And 6th is Lunar, described as a peachy moonrise pastel matte. Here are the 6 shades for the Astro Pink palette. The mattes are very creamy and smooth. Again, this brilliant liquid metallic surfaced shade. The berry shade here, berry fuchsia shade matte, is actually a little bit patchy. I am guessing that when you actually apply it through the crease or dab it onto the lid, you probably won't see any sort of that patchiness. This shade, I am so impressed how they have gotten so much of that silver glitter, hopefully you can see on the camera, to adhere and stick with this deep dark black. I did see some flakes in the air, so you will get some flyaways still, but very impressive. And then this duochrome shade, again, absolutely stunning. So that berry fuchsia shade and even that black shade kind of stain the skin, so just a heads up on that. All right, let's do some finger swatches from the Sci-Fi green palette. We have Nuclear and Glam Aura. Super smooth and metallic. From the Cyber Bronze palette, we have Quantum, Infrared, and Plasma. I think I like that a little better with a finger swatch. Maybe Infrared too. Not sure. And then Plasma has no problems either way. And in the Astro Pink palette, we have Cosmos, Neptune, and Lightyear. I think I actually like that better with a brush. When I do it with my fingers, the glitter actually gets dulled out. Just kind of curious. Gets covered by the black pigment. Interesting. This is definitely more smooth, but it is more translucent. It's not as opaque. And again, no issues either way of application. All right, so there are finger swatches for all of your shimmering and metallic shades. In creating today's eye look, I exclusively used the Futurism No. 3 Astro Pink eyeshadow palette. I began by laying down my base with the matte shades Lunar, which is the lighter one, and then Stardust to emphasize the crease and to lay down a base to have the other colors blend into. I then went into Nebula. I actually put that first on to emphasize the outer half of the lid. As I mentioned when I was swatching this shade, it did seem to be a little bit patchy, but as I predicted, it didn't show any signs of being patchy or skipping when I actually used it on the lids for a look. Then I went into Lightyear and I first applied that with a brush. I was surprised by how little fallout I got from the shade. There is some, I think that's inevitable, but I didn't even spray it down before applying it with a brush and I didn't have that much fallout. Then I kind of tried to blend it into the Nebula shade and I went over it by tapping it in with my finger just to get a stronger pop of color. And then I focused on the lower lash line, again building it up with the shade Stardust as a matte base color. And then I used Neptune for the lower lash line, transitioning it into Lunar for the inner corner. I got a very tiny bit of fallout from Neptune. I did spray it down, but it was a lot less than I thought it would be. I think it's pretty obvious, even without me having to say, that the quality on this is A+. That combined with the artistry, that combined with the look on the outside of the makeup, this brand has everything covered. Their website is professional, detailed, and creative. The packaging on their products is creative and detailed and unique. The inside of their products, the substance of them, the actual formula is high quality. It is a joy to work with. The shades are creative. The finishes are creative. I don't know that I really have anything that I can say. I don't know that I have any criticism. I can't think of anything immediately speaking that is anything other than minor or petty to say that I would improve upon with this brand. So I am so thankful that Kaleidos sent along this collection for me to be able to show you. I very much hope that you guys check this brand out. I think that in terms of the price point, these are a steal. So please let me know, of the 3 palettes, which is the one that attracts you the most. I think that I really like this Astro Pink palette, but I also really like the Sci-Fi Green palette. I think just for me personally, the burnt reddish colors are not my cup of tea usually, although I did also film a video for Jade, that makeup company, which I also mentioned in my What's New in Beauty video, and I was surprised by the eye look I created for that brand too. So make sure you stay tuned for that video also. But all that is to say that I am so impressed. Let me know which one is your favorite palette or which shade you thought was the most intriguing that you saw me swatch, and any other thoughts that you have on this brand. If you end up purchasing anything, please let me know what your experience is with it and what you think of the quality of the shadows. If you do go over to Kaleidos' Instagram or any of their social media and you want to let them know that you were sent or that you went over there because of this video from Allura Beauty, I would really appreciate that too. All right, I hope you enjoyed and liked this video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you in the next one.